City City Expats Club is a non-profit social organisation and our speakers are volunteers. The club as such assumes no responsibility or liability for the professional reputation of or the quality of services provided by the speaker today.
Just one family, right? This isn't like a whole community of refugees that's come here, right? This is just one family, every one of them. Stand up, the mother. Yay, right? All of them came from that very attractive lady. It's hard to believe. She kept her looks up through all that. So, without further ado, I'm going to invite them to come on stage and take over the stage. Put a rapturous round of applause to the Simmons family. What is the music?
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good to see everybody here, have some friends here, and all of you lovely people. We are so glad to be here. We thank you so very much for inviting us. My name is Tarina Simons, and these are my children. And so they're going to come up and actually introduce themselves. They're going to come to the mic. But we hope that you enjoyed the presentation that we put together. We're so excited, and thank you so much.
Okay, everyone, before we introduce ourselves, we're going to sing a song for you all. This is the original song by our group, and this is called My Life at Home. So we just want to start by thanking you all once again for having us here. We're very, very honored to be here today to sing before you all. So we thought we should introduce ourselves individually, of course. So my name is Adoration Simons, and I am 23 years old.
Hi everyone, my name is Shalom Simons. I'm 22 years old. My name is Shekinah Simons. I'm 20 years old.
My name is Michael. I'm 17 years old.
My name is Omega, and I'm 14 years old.
My name is Genesis, and I'm 12 years old.
My name is Scout, and I'm 6 years old.
Wow.
She's like, hi, Cat.
His name is Chris. Are you Florida? He's 3 years old. This is our new god brother. He just adopted into our new family. Alrighty then. So our story about how we came to Thailand dates back about almost 13 years ago now. Our parents, who were all homeschooled, so our parents decided they were looking into real estate in other countries because there was no real estate in the U.S. So they decided that we should just go and branch out and check out some places in Southeast Asia. So we originally flew over to Malaysia and then checked out a couple different Southeast Asian countries. And my father discovered Thailand, and he's like, I really like this place. You know, it's definitely, I can see, a bright future for Thailand. And when we came here as a family, we were like, we love this place. And we tried other countries, but we said, no, Thailand feels like home. And so we've been here based in Thailand ever since for the past 13 years. So as you can imagine, he was born here. She was basically here all her life from 2 months old. So that's, just how we fell in love with Thailand and began to try different things. How we originally got into music back when we were younger. Our parents were really not fond of the idea of television. They were like, we're getting married and we're not going to do television in our house. So as you can imagine, we were like homeschooled, no television. So we began to become very creative and we began to write stories and get into writing music. Our mother would play little musical games with us. She'd say, there would be a song for everything. There'd be a song for brushing your teeth, tying your shoes, a song for going to church, a song for coming home, wake up, go to sleep. Everything was a song. And that's when our love of music really began to grow. After moving to Thailand, my father ran into a gentleman who had a ministry. And his ministry was donating a keyboard to kids to try and spark some kind of musical interest in them. And he said, Jeff, I saw your kids. I really have to get them this keyboard. And he's like, okay, my kids aren't really that into music. We weren't really into music. We had only written about 20 songs by then. But since my father finally got the keyboard home, and that's when we really began to write and get into instruments and everything like that. Like I said, we had about 20 songs then, and now we have well over 1,000 songs that we've written and composed music to. So we really began to fall in love with music, and that's when we really got started and moving in the direction. We saw ourselves, getting into music and using that and having that into our future. So this next song that we're going to sing is a song that was written originally for our father for Father's Day, and I forget what year it was, but he requested that we rearrange the song or change the song for the King of Thailand. Right before his death and when his passing, he said, redo the song and dedicate it to the King of Thailand. And my father loved the King of Thailand and everything that he had done for his people and even for our people. So this next song is called Victorious. And as I said, it's a dedication to the King of Thailand. So please enjoy.
King of nations, the four generations from a little to a lot, giving all you got. You work real hard, up to par, all day and night, stand up for what's right. They don't understand how much you're a man, as sharp as a lion, yet swift as a bear. They call you king because you care, so truthful and fair, the world can't bear. Back to 26, people's songs were torn. 1 year later, King 9 was born. Then Satan came out, with deals and doors were over. Grown up strong, don't get me wrong. They try to crush you out, but make the rules long. The world's amazed, the world's a trick. You stand them up, action footstool, then you escape. Let's go.
Shoulder the valley, up above the mountain, fly like an eagle. Even when you're crouching, God be with you. Who can be against you? Victorious, victorious, victorious. 'Cause you're so brave and sure. Can't miss such a wonderful king like this. How did you come this far? Can't miss such a wonderful king like this. Are you kind that far? Hey, 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 legendary word of love. Oh, born in America, wax flies and sharp, destined to be great on the law. Crown king in Thailand, and for his greatness, victorious, victorious, victorious. Oh, victorious, victorious. Victorious, victorious, victorious. Yeah, you know what it is.
Roll at the king, baby.
From a silent family.
Long live the king.
Thank you, everyone. Alrighty then, I hope everyone can turn your attention to the screen. Mr. John, if you could please play our video. Everyone please watch and enjoy the video that we're about to present.
want to give an acknowledgement to our up-and-coming videographer here, Shekinah. She put the videos together for us. We need to check out our family's vlog because we have a lot of different videos on our YouTube channel. So as you can imagine, with all of these children and them being musically inclined and all of them play the guitar and the keyboard, our house was very, very loud. So we had an idea. We said, you know, why don't you take all this joy and excitement out to the street? That would be great. So they had an idea to go down to Valley High Pier and just sing. And so they went down there and came back and said, oh my, it was great. Oh my God, everybody was so happy and we want to do it again. So for a period of time, every day they'd march out to Valley High Pier. My 6-year-old was only about 2 at the time. And they marched out to Valley High Pier and they sang for the tourists who come by, like 100,000 tourists coming by back and forth every day. And they came home so excited and it was going very well. Even my 2-year-old turned out to be like one of the greatest performers. They had to separate him for his own crowd. He was dancing and Michael Jackson and all this stuff. So it was really great. And then I was actually at home with my husband and he was sick, very sick at that time. And I was taking care of him and I would always check in and say, is everything okay? Yeah, everything's okay, it's great. You know, they'd come marching home and tell us the stories and things like that. And one day I got a call to find out that everything was not okay. So one of my daughters called me and she said, Mom, the police have us. The police have taken us somewhere. Can you come and get us? And so I'm frantic. I had to leave my husband at home and run down to the police station, Soy 9, I think it was that one, to find out that my kids had been collected by the police and thrown into vehicles and harassed and pushed around and some other things, and to find out what's going on. And they said that it was illegal for them to sing out in the street like that. And they had been doing it for months. And so I said, okay, so what's gonna happen now? They said, well, you're gonna have to report here and bring their passports and do all this stuff. And so we were pretty terrified. And so they took them down to some holding station. I brought their passports and proved that they were my children and all of this stuff. And they said, well, we are not going to release them to you just yet. It's going to be some time. I said, some time? And I said, are you putting them in jail? They said, well, we would, but they're too little and nobody wants to keep them in jail. So we're going to send them over to the Kunaja Center, which is the anti-sex trafficking center, with other kids their age. So so we sent them over there, and they were not allowed to actually come home at all for 3 weeks. And so my husband and I got up and went over there to meet Kunaja, and he is the director of that center over there. So my husband, with his positivity, said, okay, you know what? We're going to take lemons and make lemonades. He said, so while you're here, teach English, teach music, sing, show the joy that we have in our hearts and share with these kids. In a matter of 3 weeks, they had transformed the place. Everybody was singing, everybody was happy, they were learning English, they brought our homeschool program to the center, and to this day, they still have a great relationship, and they go there every Saturday to do charity work and missions work there. So that turned out to actually be a blessing and something that taught my children, because now if you go there, it's actually modern. 5 years ago or so, it was not so modern. So they kind of had to rough it and live very, very, very tight. And so it was a lesson also to them that, you know, everybody doesn't have everything that you have. And so it turned out to be a really good lesson for them to live, to learn how to live and be happy without having everything, and to show community and show love. So that turned out to be a great thing. And because of what they went through, they actually wrote a song, and it's called Standing Alone. Hope you enjoy it.
I was standing alone, 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 alone. I was standing alone, alone, alone.
Yeah, it's about time for a revolution. I can't explain, feels like this world's an illusion. I can't see it walk outside my door, all I hear is confusion. Looks like you're doing well, but you really losing. Mom's trying to eat, so they prostitute. The police turn around, trying to prosecute. See, See people dropping dead, police that pay the price. Don't underestimate the cost of who they sacrifice. And little children didn't make a difference. They said the ones they killed, lives were insignificant. You see, they brought us over here like we were slaves, trying to steal the gift that God gave. Sorry, God, I had nothing else to say. But keep your eyes open, this is the present day.
Ooh, see, I just need somebody to love me. If you can take my pressure, then I can move on. I'm dying in this pain now, so would you please? I just need somebody, I was standing alone with nobody else to call. I was screaming, I said cause I almost lost it all. And now I'm praying, praying and praying that one day I see you. Hoping until I realize your love was always by my side, never let me down.
Yo, it's like I'm in the middle of the street and I'm dying. I'm screaming out for mercy, but can't nobody find me. Host people to me, the one trying to buy me, and now I'm like Satan, get it behind me. Yo, I had it all, cars, trains, houses, planes, rains, but you can't name it all in vain. Cause the pain, it shot me like a bullet in this thing, like lightning strikes in the middle of the range. Yo, I wrote this from the mind of the potent, cause I want you to know this. You could be the rich, the fame, the top, the game, but still suicide is option, but with this hope, cause I did it, I jumped, I gave it all up. See the pressure and the pain was too much, and then you sent me out the sky, and then straight to my eyes. Now I can't realize I'm alive.
See, I just need somebody to love me. If you can take my pressure, then I can move on. I'm dying in this pain now, so would you please? I just need somebody, I was standing alone, nobody else to hear. I was screaming, I said cause I
Shalom Simons. My stage name is SMS. I'm a part of actually 2 different groups, the Jasper Gray, my 3 sisters. We often sing together. And, but I also began to go solo as well. Jasper Gray, we started our group, as 3 girls, we started our group in around 2014. Our cousin helped us come up with the name Jasper 3. I don't know how to get with the name Jasper 3. But we began to sing around town, different charity events, and at the Expat Club, the other Expat Club, sing at the other Expat Club, and we just began to write a lot of music together. Like my sister said earlier, when we got our first keyboard, it's when we began to write, begin to actually really get into writing music. We got our first music lessons. I remember we got our first music lessons in 2017, right? We got one vocal class. It was pretty bad, but it was awful, okay? It was awful, to be honest. It was awful, and he actually, our music teacher gave us some things to practice, some things to do, and we only took 1 class. So after that, we had to kind of do it on our own and see how it works and everything. But anyway, from that time on, we've written another 700 songs. So we have about 700 songs right now as a group and individually. Right now we're working on a lot of things. We perform a lot here and there. Did some performing in Bangkok, some in Pattaya. You might see us here and there, but we decided to take it to the next level. So right now we are building a home studio, and we recorded about 3 songs already. And they're ready for download. We have a clipboard, and we're gonna pass it around. You can write your information on it, and we'll send you all our upcoming music and everything that we have going on. It's really exciting. But anyway, so we're building a home studio, and we just got all the equipment and everything, so we're really excited. We have an album that we're working on now, but it's not gonna be coming out until next year, sometime next year. So we're excited about that, and we just began to learn production, how to do music production, work with the studio, and all the engineering stuff. Now we're kind of musicians, so we never really got into working on the engineering of music, which is a whole nother side I found to be quite difficult, but it seems like we're definitely moving in the right direction, and we're really excited. Also, yes, thank you. Also, my sister over there, she had a big ambition to do a YouTube channel, so we started a YouTube channel. We were living in Thailand for 13 years, but we never really started vlogging or anything, or doing any videos. All we ever hear is, you guys should do a reality show, you guys should do something. So we finally started something. At a low level, we started something, and so we got our YouTube channel is called The Simons Family Vlog. Yeah, it's up there. The Simons Family Vlog, and so we're basically on the channel. We're showing you where we're going around. We had a charity event last week, a couple weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. We had a charity event. We had all kinds of things happen and going on. Also, we will begin to do videos about our music production, how we write music in the studio. It's going to be really, really exciting. So make sure you go and subscribe. So I wrote this song, just get down to the point, I wrote this song called Honesty. Now this song I was supposed to perform in a talent show. And I had a song that I was practicing for about a week before the event. But the night before, my sister was like, nope, that's not it. Nope, not that one. So I grabbed the song out of my little chest, have a little chest of written notes, and I started putting things together. I was like, okay, what can I write? What can I write? What's gonna be exciting? And so, that night, long story short, I came up with this song called Honesty. So I'm gonna play it for you guys. Give me a second. That's perfect.
don't need nothing between the sheets. I don't need your full opinion, baby. I just want, cause I just want honesty. Yo, honesty, modesty, promise me I ain't tripping over a single thing you telling me. You frontin' me like I'm locked up for a felony, but I'ma throw a book at you just like you just threw at me. Last night we went from fight, from love, from hope to touch. I'm guessing my apologies are never enough. If I fuck with this love, you won't participate. So if I'm wanting you back, I'm afraid it's too late. Turn around and look yourself up in the mirror. Realize it's only pride that's making this go bigger like a cloud in the sky. Pouring rain there and thunder, sitting on the edge of your bed, and then you wonder why you in this to win. Attitude spent, hard to present. Sometimes a relationship is hard to pretend, but I'm not asking for your love, no apology. I'm just asking for a little bit of honesty. Cause I just want honesty. Hey, and if I'm no good, then don't be in love with me. I don't need nothing between the sheets. Cause I don't need your full opinion, baby. Cause I just want honesty. And if I'm no good, then don't be in love with me. I don't need nothing between the sheets. Cause I just want your full opinion, baby. And I just want, cause I just want, like no, like no, I just want honesty. Hey, thank you, everybody. All right, guys, I have one more song with my crew, Jasper. All right, so I wrote this song about our overall experience, because traveling from different countries when you're young, when I'm traveling around, everybody says, where's your friends, and what happens to, your home, and we are best friends. And so I wrote this song about the joy of life, because I really want to sing it. Okay. Give me life and you gave me love. Give me hope and you gave me much. I heard that you're sick of stars, so I'm chasing after you like the word is fun. Hey, give me hope as a second chance. Give me joy so now I can dance. I heard that you're into me, so I'm chasing after you for the victory. And I'm chasing you and you're stuck in me, cause you see you're such a nine. I'm so in love. I am so in love with you. Hey, hey. I am so in love with you. Hey. Give me a heart satisfaction. Promise that you never let me go. I heard that you love me so I'm holding you tight and never let you go. Cause I'm chasing you and you're sucking me, cause you see you're such a nine. I'm so in love. I am so in love with you. Hey, hey. I am so in love with you. Hey, I'm down with you, baby. If I make my bed in hell with you, baby, I will go all around with you, baby. Cause I'm so in love with you, baby. I am so in love with you. Hey, hey. I am so in love with you. Hey. Da 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 da.
Okay, so I just wanted to give you, I guess, kind of what has been going on since then. As we spoke before, we are the Simons family. Sorry, this part kind of chokes me up a little bit.
Take your time.
Okay, so my daughter had said initially we came over here. My husband was a real estate investor in the States. And we were doing some investing over in Malaysia. And so we finally had an opportunity between pregnancies to come and see about our investment overseas. So we had a little going away party in the States, and we told our family it'd be about 6 months and we'll be back. We're just gonna go and, throw caution to the wind and go check out Asia. So we went to Malaysia first, and we were there for about a month and a half. And then some friends invited my husband over to Thailand and said, why don't you come check this out? So he came over and came back home. He said, I'm really thinking about Thailand, Tarina. I said, okay. So we're still over Malaysia. He went back again, and he actually rented a house. He said, come on, we're packing up, we're going to Thailand. My husband was really a trailblazer. He didn't really, worry about much. Said it seemed like a great opportunity for us. So as we winded up, my husband had been sick for about 10 years, seriously sick. He had diabetes, and sometimes with the diabetes, it turns into a lot of other complications, which ended up affecting his heart and different things like that. And so for the past 10 years of these 12 years, my husband had been very, very ill. And I was his primary caretaker. And so my kids, they were doing a lot of things independently. We did homeschool and things, and so they were doing the music and everything like that. Last year was probably the sickest that I'd ever seen my husband. And he was one that always planned and always made sure that everything was together. And so we were prepared, but you're never really prepared when someone actually passes away. It's very close to you. And we had a very strong family culture. We are God believers, and so we had each other. And about 1 year to date, it was 2018, September 21st, my husband actually passed away here in Thailand in a hospital. And like I said, you never really prepared for that, but that was that. And so it's been a year now, and we have done very well, and God has blessed us, and we're still together, and things are going well for us. And so we are going to continue on the legacy that he had gave and charged us to continue on and to continue to spread joy and to and show forth just family and love and things like that. So we are so happy to have been here, and I'm going to call them up for our final selection, which is wonderful. And this is a song that they wrote, and I think it started as a dedication for us. Yeah, one anniversary they wrote us a song. Birthdays and anniversaries and things like that, and it was always a song. And so they're going to sing this song, and then we're going to close. Thank you.
Every part miracle, loaded with new material, almost like I'm a serial artist. Now I brought it to the world, who's going through the hardest. Yo, we're making this. And in the season, I'm giving out a reason to shed a smile, even when it feels like life is depleting. They call it treason, but love covers every transgression. It's a blessing. Wonderful. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much.
Well, of course, we're going to have some questions and answers. But I don't know how this affected you, but I'm sitting in the audience and I'm thinking, I've seen hundreds and hundreds, but I've never felt a vibration of love like I felt this morning. Anyone else feel that vibration? Round of applause. Amazing. Q&A. Anyone got some? Anyone? That's good. Q&A, questions and answers. Anyone got a question? They're all down. Oh, okay, cool. You might have to select who you want to answer, but I'll give it to the mother because she's like, Kelvin? Oh, I'm a runner. Oh, you're a runner?
Yeah. Particular words out of your mouth struck me. Something that not too many people really realize is that when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. Where do you think you learned that attitude in life?
Well, something that she brought up about lemons making lemonade. Our father, he's the one who taught us that. He was very ambitious. Actually, a backstory on him, he was actually born sick. He was not supposed to be born, and then he was born, he was gonna die the next day, and then 1 week, 2 months, 1 year, 10 years, it was always something. And so he had the mindset of live now. And he was always wanting to live now. So he carried that attitude throughout his whole life. He went back to the hospital. He was born at 10, and they were like, oh my God, I can't believe this guy's walking and living. So even when he was sick, like my mom said, for 10 years, he lived. A lot of people did not know my father was sick. He'd be at the party, he'd be the life of the party. He'd be there, he'd be up on his feet, though it was hard for him to walk. You would see him all around. People were shocked when he passed, and they didn't understand that he was even sick. My father had that mindset. He was always wanting to take the nothing and turn it into something. So that's exactly where we learned that mindset, to take the lemons, turn them into lemonade. So everything that we've been through, my dad said, okay, what are you going through? How can you come out so much stronger, from this experience? And so that's where we got that mindset, and that's a mindset that we love to share with people. We do camps and everything, and people say, my child came to your camp, they were scared, they were shy, and they're just different now. Every parent we sat down to have the conference after the camp or the teaching or whatever, they always said something about my child is different. They're getting life, they're living, they're happy, they're excited. And so that mindset definitely came from my father. For those of you who haven't met him, you would definitely know that. That was definitely from him. So that's an answer to your question.
Who'd like to hear one more song? Yeah, I think they're all too stunned to ask any question or Q&A. So have you got one song left in for?
Okay. Which kind of new song?
So as much you this brigade.
This next selection is a one that I just chose on the spot based on the question that he asked, turning lemons into lemonade. And the speech that my sister just gave about being strong and coming out from the bottom to the top. So this one is about people talking about driving down your success in life. We all, of course, come in contact with this, so I just want to sing this song. And let's do this.
But when I look into the sky, I see it just because committed suicide a million times.
I'm sinking back my pride, 'cause I don't wanna do this no more, no more, no more, no
Thank you, everyone.
Wow. I'll just sing one of my songs now. Steve, stop shaking your head then. All right, so I'm presenting you with a small token of how wonderful we thought you were. Come on in, come on down. I gotta get in here for posterity. Now, some people have come, that was just